like 40 cents.
Gringos in the house, straight out of Hialeah, no doubt. East 10th Street where we play out. Here we bring the Miami crowd. Alex, the boy with the D. Step into rhythm, feel the heat. Street vibes mixing with the Latin tree. In our flow, the two worlds meet. East 10th Street boys bring the party. Bring the noise from Hialeah with some joy.
Drink water like that.
Well, I'm telling you, bro. I'm focused, bro. I'm focused. Yeah, inside out.
You know who I am by now. I said,
You identify as.
you know, hey. When Alex takes a shower, the dude goes for 3 hours. I mean, it's like, you know he's going to be gone for a while. You have time. Do whatever you're going to do. Go grocery shopping. Go eat dinner.
Latin spice and neon lights.
Oh, good evening, Miami, and welcome to another edition of East Century Boys straight out of Hialeah. I am Bobby El Gringo. That's Alex the boy. We got
What's up, my people?
Stanza in the house. Tazi.
Evan.
And Alex, I'm sorry, I had hit live when we were.
No, that's.
And he started talking
Evan
about the Canadians.
Evan heard it.
He must have because he started bringing up the snow. You know, we have 30 inches of snow.
A client of mine says me like, Alex, we've had 40-something centimeters of snow this weekend. It's like, God damn.
Oh,
USA
man.
51st state won. Wow. USA, Canada.
Oh, is that? That's awesome. There's DSG.
Can you imagine
Canada
becomes a state before Puerto Rico? That would be the epitome of like, what? Evan, how do you feel about that, by the way? You could say you could text me off show, or you could put it here. I'm intrigued to hear that from a Canadian perspective.
No, man. There's so much back for see you Thursday. Revenge. What's on Thursday? Are you doing another overtime? Is that what you're doing? Awesome. I think I just saw a tweet from him with
Mr. Posner
for an invite. Yeah, looking for an invite. I think you know you're invited right here. You're right here. It's a proud American. What's up, Mom? Mom got an awesome Dolphins backpack. I just saw something really cool.
Canada USA final. Yeah, and hockey. That's a pretty cool thing what they did on the break. Way cooler than NBA All-Star Week.
Oh, dude, we got so much to talk about. NBA, Miami Heat. Shout out to Tyler Hero for winning the 3-point contest. The dunk contest was a lot of fun. That was a fun watch. The All-Star game was not. We're talk about the Miami Heat, talk about their youth movement, talk about some Dolphin stuff. We had a great draft show yesterday with Josh Wingate and Coach Vogel, talking about how the release of Raheem Mostert and Durham Smythe and Kendall Fuller, how does that impact Miami's team needs? How would they address those needs? Should they address them in the draft? Should they address them through free agency? I'm telling you, I'm not high. I am frozen, it looks like.
Yeah, maybe I see that. I was about to ask you. I'm like, is it my internet or is it your internet?
No, it is whatever the hell is going on here.
But I like this. I like this still. Like, what were you staring at when this froze? This is the epitome. What were you looking at?
Well, I was blinking. I don't know. Joe didn't say hi. Didn't say Uncle Hi, Uncle Bobby. Joe didn't say Uncle Hi, Uncle Bobby. Oh, someone's watching. That must be Miss Megan. Megan Polo's watching. Is that right?
Oh.
Uncle Bobby's going to come right back. I'm going to drop out and come back in. Alex, you could take it from here. I'll be right back in a second.
I got you. Yeah, Evan, the bird feeder. What's up, Miami Heat Zone? How you doing, buddy?
Bird feeder.
He's just there staring at it. He's a bird. He got into bird watching now over the weekend. But for all those that are actually here live, Cap for life. What's up, my man? You need to stay afloat at 5 seed. You see, Cap, it's going to be interesting. I'm intrigued by this because we could somehow end up with 2 lottery picks. Obviously, we get the Golden State one if they miss the playoffs, or if they make the playoffs. It's just top 10 protected. So ideally, the only way we keep our pick is if we miss the playoffs because it's lottery protected. So we can in a hypothetical world win the lottery, select Cooper Flag, and then still pick in the top 15 or the top 11, 12, 13, 14 if we get the Golden State pick. So that's a win-win scenario in my opinion when you're going with the youth movement. But Bobby, I don't know if you hear me. I was talking about the Heat, the float, the scenario where we keep our own pick if we miss the playoffs,
Yes.
and we get the Warriors pick as long as it's not in the top 10. So we can legit win the lottery and still have another pick between 11 and 30 in the first round. So that's going to be an interesting.
Yeah. First out, Megan's on there. So hi, Megan. That's my sister Alex's baby girl. That's my
Hey,
niece,
Megan.
May. Hope she's being a good girl. Appreciate you watching. So we'll behave for now until I know you're off. But
Yeah.
Martell's in the house. Cap. So just okay. So the Heat's pick.
Yeah.
When does it go? When does it go to the other team? What's the rule? Is it if Miami's in the lottery, it's their pick?
If it's lottery protected this year. So if we miss the playoffs, we keep our pick. If we don't, whoa. if we make the playoffs, it gets conveyed to OKC. I believe it gets conveyed next year or 2027 if we don't convey it this year. So no matter what happens, if it doesn't convey this year to OKC, I believe I'll check now, but I believe it conveys next year to OKC fully. And then Golden State, it's top 10 protected. So unless the pick is in the top 10, it will be conveyed to us this year. And it's also protected next year. So if Golden State is not picking top 10 next year and we didn't get the pick this year, we're going to get it. If not, it gets conveyed in 2027 unprotected. So 2027, if the pick hasn't conveyed these 2 years, we get Golden State's pick in 2027, even if it's the first overall, top 3, whatever the case may be. So it's going to be the perfect scenario, realistically, like I just put to Cap, is that this is a very deep draft. 2025 is going to be an outstanding draft. Not saying that the following years won't be. There's a lot of talent coming into college basketball. But ideally, the win-win situation, if you miss the playoffs, you get into the lottery, you win the lottery, Miami Heat get the first overall pick. Somehow Golden State either makes the playoffs or misses the playoffs barely and they pick 13, 14. They don't win the lottery. They don't get into the top 10 and we get their pick as well. So realistically, you're looking at 2 picks in the top 15, top 16. For a team in youth movement, that is a great asset. Or if you want to move it for a veteran, for a superstar, that's also now plausible because you can move more picks.
So that's where it comes into play because I brought this up on our last episode about where I stand with Miami currently, the Miami Heat, and that is where I'm cool with going forward. I want this team should focus on the youth movement. And that is if you get that lottery pick or you get 2 lottery picks and you've hit on 3 of them now, right? I mean, you have sophomore slumps, whatever. But I mean, even you go back to Bam and Tyler, and we know the frustrations with the team. We know this team is it's in the middle of the pack. It's not a top 10 team. It's if they may be a play-in team or they may not in either way. But for me, I feel the best path forward for Miami is to stop the fantasy of whale chasing. That day is over. There's no one there available that you could get with the assets that we have currently that's going to be worth it. And if you do even try to do it, you're going to deplete the team to the point where it's not going to matter. To me, when you have a Jovic, a Jaquez, a Khalil Ware, a Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo, you have that young core. Now, you could move other people for secondary pieces, a Terry Rozier and whatever. You could go and kind of balance out your roster. You got an Andrew Wiggins there now, maybe for the next 2 years. Evan Bruss said it right here. Follow the OKC model. You go and get those young pieces. You could stockpile those draft picks, not with the idea of, okay, we're going to stockpile these picks, and then let's pray and hope that one of those top 5 superstars is going to demand a trade or is going to be and we're going to go get him. No. Focus on building up the youth movement, follow that through, build up these guys where your roster's competitive. And then now, if you get a high pick, you go get that pick, use that pick, get another quality young guy, build a young foundation. And now when you have that young foundation set where everyone is happy with your roster, you're like, we're knocking on the door. we're there. We're making the playoffs, the fourth, third, second, whatever seed, fourth seed, with this young core that's growing up together. And maybe now you're banging on the door. That's when you go and get that piece that moves the needle, that really truly moves the needle. That's when you say, okay, let's go ahead and get those stockpile of picks that we still have left, or those couple quality young players, and then go get that one guy that's going to put us over the hump. I mean, you look at OKC, Alex, and you brought this up when they made the Shea Alexander trade. At that point, he wasn't Shea. He wasn't the guy everybody, thought he was good. He was good, but he wasn't that guy. Now look what he is. Yep. Look what he is. And then you put Chet, and then you put Williams, and you think of what they've built there. You look at use Cleveland. What Cleveland has done the last few years after LeBron left the second time. Go ahead.
I love that you brought that up, because I've been a big believer in the OKC model due to the market of the team.
Yes.
Being in OKC. Now they're going to face a situation now where they have a stockpile of picks, but their team is going to get very expensive. OKC, I don't believe, is going to be able to keep everyone, because now everybody's eligible for max deals. So this is where the tricky part comes in. How they use their pick stock, in order to replenish a roster or have cheap controlled talent. And also, I feel that's going to be a blend maybe of the Cleveland model with OKC. Cleveland did that and went all in for Donovan Mitchell, but kept enough young pieces, key young pieces.
And that's what
that's the part right there.
You see, and then you just brought up the other part, right? That's when you make those moves. That's when you go, okay, who are the guys we're going to be keeping?
Houston's going to make that too. Utah's going to make that soon. There's going to be a lot of youth movement.
That's when you decide, okay, out of this young core group, who are we going to max out?
Correct.
And who are the pieces that we're okay with moving? And those are the pieces that you move on before you lose them. And then you get yourself a Donovan Mitchell, where that might put you look where Cleveland is sitting right now. Does that finish with an NBA championship? We don't know, but look, they're better off than Miami. So for me, even if there are guys that I'm okay with, go get this guy, but realistically, I don't think Miami, the NBA has shown the last few seasons that there's nobody on the roster where it's worth the trade for those assets for a top guy like that. So for me, I'm done dreaming or pretending that we're going to go get Luka Doncic if he doesn't re-sign with the Lakers. I'm done with the honest thing. I'm done with I don't want to hear anything about Anthony Edwards, the fantasy. Focus on what we have right now and what
even
we
with
build with the next two picks.
Even with Wiggins for 2026, we should have enough cap space for one max roster spot.
Sure.
So that's 2026 is still the time where the Heat will be restructured, even with a maturation of who we have in young talent and the adding of one piece. So 2026 is the next goal. I don't believe it's going to be next year. Next year's still developing, growth within.
That's my thing.
Yeah.
Don't go and go, okay,
let's
go get some average ass player or player who's used to be good or just as good. He's not great. He's okay. We consider him a star. Don't do that. Don't waste those two picks and go get that guy. That way you stay in the freaking middle of the pack. No, you use those picks on another couple young guns, whatever those may be.
And the thing is that people don't understand, Bob, is that we got young players, but we don't have the young players that OKC had or Boston had, that everybody was 21, 22. We already got a Bam, a Hero, a Wiggins. We're not going to be a lottery team. We're still going to be, even if you play middle, the signs of a young team is what's happening to us. We dominated OKC the other day. What happened in the fourth quarter? Completely flattened out. And that's a young team. They don't have an identity in the fourth quarter because this team was built for Jimmy to be that closer. And then now I believe Bam or Hero will step up and there's going to be some sort of identity. When you give the Heat coaching staff and Spo a week to think, to relax, to think things through, that's why when he said, I promise things will get better. When you give them time, they're going to figure out a rotation in that fourth quarter or a set, because you can't go away from who you are. It's impossible that you play a 3 quarters of perfect basketball and then all of a sudden in the fourth quarter, you just forget how to play basketball. That's not possible. That's just mental issues. That's mental issues that lead to execution, because it's impossible that a team plays to its identity for 3 quarters and then the fourth quarter comes and we give up an 11-point lead, a 14-point lead. That's not possible talent-wise. So there has to be some there schematically. There has to be some there mentally. There has to be some there with the way we stagger the rotation. Maybe Bam has to play the full 12 minutes in the fourth quarter. Maybe give him an earlier rest in the third. So there's going to be some tinkering there. But this team is young. It's talented. And I know you'll probably bring it up. Jimmy's doing great in Golden State. It was the perfect spot for him, realistically, in comparisons to Phoenix and all that.
Well,
So right
remember,
now people are
we
judging
talked
that.
about that.
Yeah.
But I don't care about judging that. You could judge all the. I'm not saying you, but the people could judge all they want from their couch. I don't give a damn. And let me tell you something. These Heat fans that probably came in after 2014, 15, whatever the hell, they jumped on the damn bandwagon, and they want to shit talk on Riley, and they want to shit talk on Coach Spo and all this other shit. Like, dude, sit down and be quiet. Like, it's a process, and just let it play the hell out. Obviously there are things like, Coach Spo has to fix up. But there's a reason why it's not the Heat fans that vote him as one of the top 10, top 5 coaches in basketball. It's the GMs, other coaches. They all see it, and that's how you could tell that, the IQ of some of these people. It just drives me freaking AWOL when I go on Twitter and you see these people shit talk on Coach Spo, and acting like, he should be fired. He's about to Man,
has he made mistakes? Has he been
who doesn't
off his game a little bit? Yes, he has. But it's part of the situation that you're in. The whole Jimmy situation, no matter if they say it doesn't affect you, it affects you as a coach when your top player creates this fiasco, and it affects how you thought the season was going to go. So I do expect them to see a different team post All-Star break. Like, that's it. Like, we know where we're going. Like, we know who we are, and we know what we're doing. That's it. Like, there's no going back.
You got to let it play out. And for, I think it craps on more on Jimmy Moore to where how there was that switch, how he didn't play like he gave a damn when he was here, and now he's with the Warriors and he's playing like he gives a shit. It just tells you what he is. And then that's, where, again, that happens with every team, and I wish him the best, but it is what it is. That's right. Spo got us rings in final appearances. I mean, think about what he did when LeBron left the Cavs the first time. Look how far they fell.
Yeah,
they ended
4 years of misery.
They drafted Wiggins. They drafted Bennett. They had the first overall pick. They never did anything. They fell apart. When Miami lost LeBron, they were still competitive. But what happened? Bosh had his situation come up. You got the Wade situation. It's just what happens. It's circumstance. But
this
think
franchise
about how
only bottomed out once.
Think about how spoiled you need to be. It's just like, you don't know what you got until you lose it. Those who are like, oh, I hope Riley quits or gets fired, and which will never happen, until he retires. I hope Spo gets fired. Like, look around the NBA and look at the turnover. Look how many coaches the Lakers had to fire, and they're still firing coaches, and they're hoping Redick gets it right.
Yeah.
Look how many times Cleveland fired their coaches with LeBron. Look how many times these guys look around the league and how dysfunctional everything is. Go look. Get away from the downtown Miami and go down to Miami Gardens and go look at the Miami Dolphins and tell me which organization front office you would rather have: stability, consistency, or that. Like, people don't get it. Like, it's so damn toxic.
It's taken for granted.
It is. It's
take it for granted.
Just let it play out.
Hey,
I'm not about chasing. I won't even go with it too. I'm not about the chasing the stars anymore. I'm gonna be like, no, keep those damn picks and use them.
It's a different NBA. And when people said that, people are not gonna want to come to Miami, that is the biggest bullshit in the world. Because if there's any possibility of ever a superstar, a generational talent coming to Miami and it's available, people want to play for Spo. Now, one thing that Udonis said the other day, which is what I truly love, is the Miami Heat is not for everybody. There's a culture here that if it comes to, if you don't want to work hard and you don't want to achieve the ultimate goal, then don't come here. There's a lot of professional basketball players, and you see this, by the way, across the board now in AAU, college basketball. There's a lot of professional basketball players and semi-professional basketball players that just because they are talented, they make a living, but they don't love the game. They don't love basketball. And I mean, and that's okay. Like, for example, there's a lot of people that do a job that they don't love, but it pays their bills. It takes care of them day to day. I understand that. For some, that's basketball. But at the end of the day, like the last thing that you can, the last true pure sport that there is, in my opinion, it's still like in the high school level, kids at the park, because now even college basketball is a business. So it's a business module that has been transferred from the NBA to college basketball, and there is a shift. There's a generational shift in coaching trees, in players, how you recruit them, how you coach them, and you kind of see that even in the All-Star game this weekend. Like, you miss some competitive that now, if you put it in the play, in my opinion, you put it in the players' hands, and you're like, how can we make this weekend a destination like it used to be? Players wanted to go to All-Star weekend. Players wanted to participate. Players wanted to put on a show. There's no necessity for LeBron to be there and say, like, an hour before the game that, oh, I'm not going to play because I have a sore ankle. Tell us from before, man. Be part of the festivities, but don't take up a roster spot. Give someone else the opportunity to be an all-star. Like, there are things that I don't understand in this day and age, and I sound like an old ass. I sound like a fossil right now, and we're still relatively young. So a lot of people see you, and I'm like, damn, bro, this is insane. Like, I miss sometimes the old school basketball. I understand the new generation because I'm coaching them. So I understand the future generations because I'm seeing them. But there's still that love of basketball that if you love basketball and you want to be accountable as a human being, the Miami Heat is the organization for you. The Spurs are the organization for you. So there's situations that, if presented, for sure someone's going to want to come to play for Miami. Are you kidding me? Miami, no state income tax, the beaches, the location. Like, whoever says, like, oh, I would rather just go to Minnesota and Miami. First of all, you're bullshitting and you're a liar. So if the opportunity ever comes, there are superstars that will come to Miami. So Heat fans, just relax. This is the new model of the NBA. Give it a few years, and we're going to be right back on top.
Let me ask you though, because this is where it kind of gets not for me, because I know where I stand on it. But as soon as this all goes down, you see what happens with KD. The situation with KD and Phoenix is now murky.
Correct.
And so people are like,
Yeah.
he didn't want to go back to Golden State, but he was absolutely okay coming to Miami and entertaining that. They said, this could be a situation that could play out into the in next offseason with everything that goes down.
Correct.
Where do you stand on that? Would you entertain it, and how would you package a deal for that if you would entertain that? KD in Miami.
100%. I would unequivocally pursue KD because that's still Kevin Durant. Now he's going to be on the last year of his contract. The price is now what supposedly, I don't think that ever came to fruition, but Phoenix was asking for everybody. First of all, it wouldn't even work contract wise. So that's bullshit. The only way they could have acquired Jimmy is if they would have acquired not even Jaquez. The only player they could have acquired was Jovic or Alec Burke. So I feel like there's going to be some moves made, but I definitely would entertain Kevin Durant because I believe he's going to be traded next year. He was caught by surprise by that Phoenix situation, and that Phoenix team isn't going anywhere. I said it when they traded for Beal. They don't have the nucleus to contend right now.
I hope those Heat fans that want all those major moves to go down, I hope they're looking at that and seeing. Let me ask you, though, again, because supposedly the Phoenix Suns that wanted, they said, oh, supposedly this was the thing they did. Oh, we want the whole entire Miami Heat roster, whatever that meant.
Yeah.
But talking about the contract, what would you realistically give up for him?
Well, now it's different because now it's no longer Jimmy. So Jimmy was at a $50 million cap. Mm-hmm. Now I would definitely include Terry Rozier. That's number one for sure. Maybe you're moving Duncan. Now you're possibly moving Jaquez, maybe Jovic. So that is something that
you're okay moving one of those two rookies. They're not rookies.
Yeah,
one of those you're for KD. You're okay. Jaquez, Jovic, one of those guys. If they're saying, "Hey, we want one of those," you're like, "Hey, this is KD. We're gonna move one of these pieces."
I would entertain. They would probably ask for Wiggins. I would move Wiggins. I would try to package Wiggins, Rozier, Jaquez, a first-round pick or 2 first-round picks. I'll send them my way. I'm trying to keep Jovic at all costs because it's more rare to find a Jovic than it is to find a Jaquez. That's always been. You look at Pelle Larsson. Pelle Larsson could slide right into that spot right now. I'm not saying they're the same player, but it's a similar role. Defensively, he's a little bit more versatile. Jaquez is better footwork offensively, better around the paint. Larsson might have a higher ceiling, but if it comes down to it, I'm definitely including Rozier. I'm probably packaging Wiggins. If not, is Rozier, Robinson, Jaquez, maybe Jovic, and maybe one of the younger guys too, because we still got Josh Christopher, we got Kashad Johnson, we got now Davion Mitchell, which is a restricted free agent that we might extend, depending. It's going to be between him and Drew Smith. But what I've seen by Davion Mitchell, I would be very surprised if the Heat don't retain him some
Yeah,
way,
I know.
somehow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a legit.
Heat
He
guy.
changes your game for you. The way he goes through screens, the way if you notice his patience, he's just driving kick, and his shooting has improved too. So I know they're going to ask for Ware. They're not going to give Ware. I believe Miami's going to hold on to Jovic as much as they can. They probably don't want to give him up, but they might. I think they're okay giving up Jaquez. They might ask for Pelle Larson. I think they're okay giving up Pelle Larson. I don't know what. It's probably assets after that, picks, because that's what they want, picks. They want controllable young assets. Duncan Robinson's contract is only like $9 million guaranteed, so he might be moved. But it's easier now to formulate a package for Phoenix. And like I said, Kevin Durant controls this because he has 1 year left. If he's not going to extend in his next destination, he holds all the cards. And don't get me wrong, this might be crazy, but parallel universe. The extension that we were going to give Jimmy into 2026 and all that, I'd rather give it to Kevin Durant than giving it to Jimmy in that regards. If I'm giving Jimmy that extension, I'd rather give it to Durant because in this team, he opens up everything. If you have a front court of Durant, Bam, and Ware, that opens up everything. And you got Hero and you got Davion Mitchell. But it's definitely someone, I think Durant at this point in his career, he might prefer to go to a Miami situation or a San Antonio situation where he's the veteran. And KD, it's easy for him to pick up and move. KD's not going to give you headaches. KD is a straight up hooper. He loves basketball. That's who you want. You want someone that wants to be held
Why
accountable.
does Evan hate him so much then?
Evan?
Yeah, Evan's saying he's going to throw up signs saying, I will trade trash for KD. He's misery. I would cheer for the Magic if the Heat trade for Durant.
Why do you hate? Why does
I would love to know the mystery of that.
Yeah.
Again, I know where I stand. I would stay young. Again, I would use those picks, build up young. I don't know if I don't know if Kate. I mean, obviously KD's KD. I wouldn't hate it. And if you're keeping Tyler and Bam with KD, and then you still have that young enough core.
Yeah,
we're talking. But again, I don't know how much that moves the needle in the East with those guys. Maybe with Coach Spo, that's different. But again, I would rather see Coach Spo use these two pieces to get two guys that he could build from the ground up, mold in his image, what he did with Jaquez, what he did with Jovic, what he's doing with Ware, and then build those guys up and then move forward. I mean, I would rather see that than make that. If you had to tell me one or the other, I'd say just stick with what you have. Move those other pieces. Rozier, Robinson, sorry, Doll. Those guys. Those are guys that with that type of cap space, I would say let's move them and get other players for lower cap, so we could kind of even balance it out. That could make the balance out the team compared to let's go ahead and throw a bunch of, like you just said, Jovic or Jaquez or both with Larson, Terry Rozier, and drove through two first round picks for KD, only to be, the third seed and get bounced, or something. KD gets hurt or whatever. For me, I would rather keep those two picks, keep those young guys, continue to build them up, and because Larson, I like Larson, I like his potential. I see a lot more flaws in him than I do in Jaquez. I think Jaquez, again, is his second year. This thing, again, we got to be patient, let him grow. Same time, though, I see a player who plays like a veteran. He plays like he's 5 years in, whether he's 2 years in. And I think I do like his potential. I still see a ceiling with him, a higher ceiling than maybe you do. But again, I wouldn't want to move any of these guys because again, they're still only a couple years in. I don't want to take a shortcut. Shortcuts are not working anymore, especially in this NBA. I would trade for OKC Durant 10 years ago. I'm not saying that he's not going to be still Durant.
Now that would be the epitome of a full circle if somehow Durant
if he ended up back in OKC, that's a different thing. Yeah,
that's a nice. That OKC team was nice, man. They should have never traded James Harden. They should have never traded James Harden, bro. That OKC team would have been great.
Okay, first, I think anybody who hates on not us, say, but I'm talking about
What?
the fan base in OKC should
Yeah.
love what they have in OKC because when you went from
Oh,
even though it's a missed opportunity with Durant, Westbrook, and
yeah.
Harden
Don't
to
fuck
go
it up
from
now.
that and then where
Don't
you go
fuck it up
here with
now.
this group right here, I mean,
Don't fuck it up
is what
now.
it is. But we'll see how it plays out. I mean, again, I'm comfortable. I'm not going to hate on what's going to happen next, whether they get to the playoffs or don't. If they completely fall off the earth or don't, I'm okay. I'm trusting the
Oh,
process here.
they're gonna play
Let it
great
play out.
basketball. They're gonna
Let it
play
play.
great
Oh, they'll play
basketball
good
now.
basketball. Even the OKC game, it was
It
disappointing
was,
to watch the finish, but there was a lot of things that came out going, "Damn, dude,
yeah. It was
look
just,
what we were able to do."
it's
You
just the
know,
closing, but it's part of now a young team and now kind of finding your footing. Bam is playing freely again. Bam refocused on what he does great, which is his elbow mid-range shots. Hero's playing outstanding. Wiggins is going to get comfortable in the offense. Wiggins is going to get comfortable with his team, and just defensively, you're going to see a 180 of this team, ideally. And in regards to, I just want to make one quick point because I know people are going to wonder about it. The reason Jimmy is performing so well at Golden State, which is the role that Spo envisioned for him this year. Exactly what Jimmy is doing. He's playing off the ball. When Steph goes out, he's the primary ball handler, and they're running offense through him as a trigger. But exactly what he's doing now, Golden State runs some similar schemes to Miami. So if Jimmy would have been in tune, he would have been engaged. That would have been the Jimmy that we would have had this year here, and we would have been successful. We could have won with Jimmy playing that way. And now, granted, Jimmy has been off for 3 weeks, a month, so now he's fresh. Now, let's see when Golden State, I want to say like 2 or 3 weeks from now, let's see when they start missing some games here and there, when the ankle starts acting up, that's when you're going to start seeing really what they can do because Golden State's window is 2 years. That's it. That's their window. And then comes the youth movement. Well, let's see what they do with Kaminga and all that. But the part about seeing Jimmy do that, like, I'm happy for him because he gets to be where he wants to be and he got his contract extension. But you realize it was just about the contract, it was about the money. That role is what he had here. I understand.
he didn't
It's
want
okay
it,
to do it with Steph Curry. He don't want to do it here
That's
with
right.
Hero and Bam.
That's right.
So you can go with Steph Curry. You could go over there with Draymond Green. That's great. I wish you success. Now it's time for the Heat. Like you said, we pivot. You play your team. You play to your strengths and just play free basketball. Play free basketball. There's no more pounding the basketball. And we're just going to now we do need to have an identity in the fourth quarter. That is what I expected for them
You
to
need to,
change.
you have to figure out who's the go-to guy.
Correct.
Make him your focal point and support him through the fourth quarter.
Correct.
And that's where I think Miami is lacking. And again, I don't think Tyler didn't play that game, right? Tyler wasn't in that game, did he? Am I crazy?
No, Tyler and OKC.
Yeah, who was
Yeah, he dropped 40. We were missing. Was it? It wasn't Bam. Who was it? We were missing Jovic or Hawkins. We were missing a few guys.
Yeah, I think Hawkins played. I'm trying to think. Either way, I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of another game. But anyway, Miami needs to figure out who's that go-to guy in the fourth quarter and play through him and just do that. I think that's where they're lacking. But again, I'm not one of these. Oh, blow it all up. No. I'm done with that. Let's get over that. Moving on, staying in Miami, obviously. Miami Dolphins. Officially, like it looks like, they've gotten started on their offseason. They started off releasing running back Raheem Mostert, tight end Durham Smythe, and corner Kendall Fuller. No real surprises, especially with the way it's gone. Kendall Fuller, I think, was a surprise, but again, just I guess age and just where it was going. Durham Smythe was not. Well, there you go. DSG appreciating up the Raw updates. Monday Night Raw going on right now. AJ Styles and Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker, Alex. I don't know if you remember Scott
No idea.
Steiner. Yeah. Do you remember Scott Steiner, the Big Papa Pump?
Yep.
That's his nephew. That's Rick Steiner's son. He's a freaking monster, dude. Like super talented, ultra talented dude.
Yeah.
Alex was a diehard wrestling fan growing up with us. We were all diehard, I just stuck with it, because I get the young stuff in there. Alex was like, I go to parties and I drink wine and I take pictures.
I
You
take
know,
I admire the sunset now.
social media.
I just
It's like I'm with my son going, "Oh, elbow from the top." This is Alex. Pictures.
bro, legit, it's so funny, man, because now that you say that, there's so many things in comparison. There's still things that I love,
Yeah.
um, that I used to do when I was young. Obviously, my passion for basketball hasn't changed, anything sports related. But the wrestling thing, I don't know when I just went away from it,
Yeah.
and my life became like now watching like TV is like documentaries and shit. Like I don't know when, but I stopped. That you get so far away from it that I can't get back into it anymore. The other day I sat down and watched it with my son, and I'm like, yeah, this ain't doing it for me anymore, bro. I gotta go. Like this is not at all.
Oh, okay. DSG, you're trying to start trouble. I see it. Yeah. So, I
Yeah.
get, Josh Kimmel, my co-host, tag team partner on No Holds Barred Wrestling podcast,
Okay.
brought this up. And
Uh-huh.
so WrestleMania is coming up, Alex. And
Yes. March.
full disclosure, and I brought this up on the show, but when we were growing up, Alex was a diehard fan of The Rock.
Correct.
I was Hulk Hogan, Hollywood Hogan. I was, we would talk about that all the time. That was our stick when it came to wrestling. So Hulk Hogan WrestleMania weekend is coming up soon. They just finished a Rumble, and now they're going into another pay-per-view. Then they got the WrestleMania. And one of the things Josh Kimmel had sent me was on an email that he got from the WWE or whatever, was that they are selling tickets. You could pay, like, you'll get tickets to WrestleMania, but if you pay $10,000 or $9,500, it was 95 something, $9,500, you get to hang out in a suite with an appearance of Hulk Hogan. You could take a picture with Hogan. You have a full buffet, drinks, and you get and it's not even like you get it looked like you could get to hang out and watch WrestleMania with Hogan. No,
Okay.
it's a picture,
Uh-huh.
an appearance,
A meet and greet.
food, meet and greet, and then
Yeah.
you could top golf with the Miz, which is also a wrestler. You might know
Yeah.
who the Miz is.
Yeah, of course, of course.
So he wants. So I guess he's asking you, yes or no? Would you do that? Would you pay
Fuck no.
$9,500 for
No,
any?
bro.
Who would you pay $9,500 for?
No
Is there
one.
anyone? Right? No. I said the
No.
same thing. I was
Fuck
like,
no.
there's not one person.
I'll go to Flanagan's and pay $100 and have all the wings I want, all the
If you
fries
really
I want,
look-
hang out with my son, hang out with my family. Like, no, bro.
This is what I say.
give a
I
shit.
said it like this. For me, and first off, even if I wanted, which I don't, even if I wanted to do something like that, I have somebody over there who definitely would not let me do something like that. But I'm not going to spend
I'll
$9,500.
Bro, you know
If
how
you
much
were
I could
rich,
do?
but I said this, and DSG could say this,
Yeah.
Alex, what you just said right now.
Yeah.
And DSG just asked, if you were rich, who would it be? Even if I was rich, if I had that money, I would rather
I
pay it
wouldn't
to
pay.
charity
Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm
than
not
pay
gonna give
$10,000 to go hang out with someone.
like these
If I
people,
really wanted to see, first of all, I've always said it. I'm not talking about the politics or anything like this. I've always said it. Like, it's crazy to think that I was growing up loving wrestling. My favorite wrestler growing up, and it's still nostalgic for me. Still, as a wrestler character,
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan, Hollywood Hogan. I will pop for that guy when he comes on
Yeah.
TV, if on wrestling. But I've seen them all. I've never seen Hulk Hogan. I've been to WWE. I've been to WWE events. I've been to WCW events. I've been to TNA. Never seen Hulk Hogan. I've seen Flair, Shawn Michaels, Triple H. I've seen them all. As Undertaker, Kurt Angle. Throw it. I say I've never seen Hogan. I'm not paying $10,000 to see Hulk Hogan. If I really want to see Hogan that bad, if anybody really wants to see Hogan that bad, go to Tampa, go to his store, go to his karaoke bar, and then hopefully you could see him and maybe take a picture. Other than that, no. There's not one person I'd pay $10,000. Not on the Dolphins, not on the Heat, not on the WWE, not one bit.
I don't know. And like I said,
I would pay $10,000 to fire McDaniel night.
I'm not telling.
I believe that.
I'm not trying to judge anybody. I'm not trying to say everybody, oh, you got to be like me. No, I don't care.
No,
everybody can do their own thing.
Do whatever you want. I'm just speaking for myself.
I've never to this day. You have no idea how many people I've run into that I've never gone up to them screaming while they're having dinner for an autograph. Nothing. The only people I've ever come up to is in airports when I've ran into certain basketball players that my son wanted to take a picture with them. And I would ask them or for an autograph or anything. I'm like, oh, do you mind? Oh, how you doing? And that's after seeing that everything is calm. I don't like going up to people, disturbing them. Why? Because they're human beings. I
They're human
wouldn't
beings.
want, if kids are different. When you're a kid, that's your hero. That is someone that you watch, someone that you idolize. But as an adult, I'm like, I don't give a shit
No,
about
no.
paying any amount of money or, oh my God, he's there. I gotta go over there. No, I don't care. If you can tell me, oh, I'm gonna be in the Krispy Kreme in Hialeah on 49th, I'm not going. I'm okay. That's cool. I'm happy for you. Like, I don't see it. Like, I don't go out of my way for that, and especially pray for that.
Yeah,
I had breakfast at Hampton and Albany with Ken Shamrock.
that's cool.
That's
That's
awesome.
cool. Ken
But were you
Shamrock.
there? Like, it just happened to be there, or you actually met up?
Oh, dude, Macho Man, of course. Like, don't get me wrong. Again, like if I'm at if for whatever reason, which I don't, that's not the. I'll go to restaurants. Obviously Flanagan's, like Alex said, ale house, whatever.
Haha.
But I'm not
Haha.
someone who goes to like a bar and anything like that. But if for whatever reason, if I was ever in a bar and I saw Ric Flair or Hogan or whomever, I'm not running up to them going, "Oh my God, hey, oh, no." No, if it's like Ali says, now if there's a situation where, can I get you a drink? Something like that, that's different. I would love to have Macho Man Randy Savage, of course, but I would never, ever, like, I've said that before. I always said, if you see those guys, they're human beings. Let them go. I don't understand people chasing them down in the airport, in the hotel lobbies.
That's insane, bro.
And then if they they say, no, man, I'm sorry, I'm tired. And they go, oh, fuck you. And then they go, I'm like, dude, you have the balls to say that?
Yeah.
That's a person, bro.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, he's
you're
exhausted,
trying to,
man.
I saw a video one time, like this girl. First, there's two of them. Well, there's multiple, but talking about those two there, Flair and Hogan. There was one with Flair where he's in a bar and this girl doesn't even know who he is. I think the boyfriend or the friend told her, "Oh, that's Ric Flair. He's famous," and she's like, "He's not famous." And she's like, "Yeah." So she goes up to him. He's minding his business. He's drinking at the bar, and he's just chilling out there, and she comes up to him and she's like, "Hey, how you doing?" And he looks at her. He wasn't rude. He kind of just looked off at her, and she goes, my friend says you're famous, but I don't even know who you are. Can I take a picture with you? And he just looked at her. He said, "No."
No.
What the fuck are you
like,
doing?
what's the point? How do you even approach
Why
that?
would you do that to him? That's disrespectful.
I don't even know who you are.
I don't even know who you
Why'd
are.
you
Yeah.
come up to me, bro?
Yeah, like that's. And then the other one was Hogan was at a bar or something was going on, and he had crutches because he barely walk around. And this guy wanted to take pictures, but finally Hogan was like, "Look, dude, guys, I'm done. And the guy started going off and telling Hogan, meet me outside. I'll take it." And Hogan's like, "Are you serious?" Like, like the kid's like, "Well, not the kid, it was an older guy." But it's like, "You guys serious, dude?" So I don't know. I always found that weird. But no, end of story. We would not pay $10,000 to just to have it. I'd pay, I don't even have 10,000, but if I had 10,000, like Alex said, I'd do it on a family thing, or I pay to charity, or
man,
like that.
No
judgment though, but just this is what I would do.
No, like I said, that's one thing. Maybe because we're not in that situation, but even if I have all the amount of money, I'm not gonna use it just to do something.
Okay,
give it
is there one thing? Let's say, Alex, for whatever reason, you and I, we had that money. Let's say you had that money.
Yes.
Okay. Or that you had, and it's pocket change to you. So you have enough, like, to you, that's pocket change. If you had something like that, pocket change to you, if $10,000, which is not, but if it was pocket change to you, what is one thing? It doesn't have to be a superstar, whatever. What is one thing that you would say if it was total, and I would, like, for someone to judge you, like for me to go, Bobby, I spent $10,000 on this. And I'm like, I'm looking at you, Alex, what the fuck? Did you really spend $10,000 to do that? What is that one thing that you would do that would maybe cause me to raise an eyebrow, or someone? Is there something that you would do totally for you that you're like, I would spend $10,000 on this? It doesn't have to be to meet somebody, but something stupid, something that we might go, oh, that's stupid. But you would do it because you're like, I would, if I had it, if this was pocket change and my kids were good and I was donating to charity and I felt good about myself. What's 10,000? What would you do with $10,000?
Bro, the first thing that comes to my mind is like rent out a place, or like I don't know, like either a flight somewhere, like, or rent out like a whole like a resort type shit for like my buddies, like, so we could all just go and hang out for like a weekend with nobody. Like, definitely something like probably like a weekend getaway, like a fantasy football type shit, where I've just rent out a resort for like that weekend, or like a house somewhere. You see, not even that, bro. Not even that.
Mine would be a charitable cause for the people.
Absolutely.
I would make a donation to the Human Fund, a fund for humans. You know what I thought you would say?
What?
and I don't think I would raise my eyebrow to that. So maybe it's not, but I could see you use if you had $10,000 to spend, everything else was taken care of. I could see you building your own basketball gym, your own gym.
Oh,
I
oh,
could
that
see you
for
doing
sure.
that.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
could
I would do
that for
that.
sure.
Yeah.
$10,000 on FTSN. Yes, that's okay. I won't judge you guys. If you want to spend $10,000 for an FTSN meet and greet with
Boom.
all wait,
Add
why
Flanagans.
hold on a second. Stop. Wait. DSG, why did you spell meet that way? What type of meet and greet are we talking
That's what
about?
I'm talking about.
Hold
That is
on.
what I'm talking about.
Where are we
Ladies
going
only.
there, Chief? That's playing.
Ladies only. Whoop whoop.
Fly all the hosts and regulars in. There you go. There you go. We'll do it. Let's do it.
You-
$10,000.
You get the meat and
What?
then the greet.
That's right. You'll get the meat, and then we'll give you the greet. She had to he was looking. He probably looked. Oh shit!
Oh no.
Yeah, look, Cap got it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what's the human fun? Yeah, I missed a joke. I guess, Evan. I guess I missed the joke. So that's cool. I love how that sidetracked us. That's always fun. But no, for sure. I for sure thought you were gonna say, and again, I wouldn't raise my eyebrow to you because
Yeah.
again, that's fun. Your son could
Now
do
you
it.
say basketball. I'll probably do season tickets for the Heat.
Okay. Yeah.
I would do
See,
that.
there you go. I wouldn't raise your eyebrow at that. That's
I
cool.
would do that.
That's something you buy, and then you could buy 2 or 3 season tickets, maybe 2 for you and your son.
Yeah.
And when your son is busy or whatever, or whatever,
We
you
give
can
it
take your
around.
wife. Yeah,
It's always cool. Like I've seen couples, like friends that do that. Like 6 friends will buy tickets.
Yeah, that's something I wish I could do. That I had.
And you raffle the games. Boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom, boom. I was even looking, believe it or not, I was looking at tickets. I'm hoping I get lucky, but I was looking at tickets for Golden State's game in Miami, March 25th. Standing room only. It's at $84. And that's in the 400 level where they open up so you can just stand and watch the game. Because it's Jimmy's return. I was seeing seats like in the 100 level, like row 20, 1,400 per seat. I'm like, that is insane.
It is. It's crazy. It's great. But I think again, if I guess that's a good one. That is season tickets.
Oh yeah.
But again, I could see like if you $10,000, if I had $10,000 to spend,
what would you do? What would be your crazy that I'll be like, Bob, are you fucking kidding me?
Well, I guess none of that stuff. Some of that stuff wouldn't be it because again,
OnlyFans.
No, yeah, right. Yeah, that's right. I don't know if you'd raise your eyebrow at that. I really don't. I don't know if there's anything I would spend $10,000 that would make you go,
like, what?
Really? Like,
Yeah.
Maybe because I'm thinking the first thing I thought of for me again, a studio where it's big enough where I don't know how much it would be, like a studio where I could
You
do
bought a
shows
bus.
from.
Well,
that was my thing. That was my secondary thing because my first thing was a studio with a gym. There's a ring in there that kids could have fun. You could play basketball. Like that's something I could see myself doing. That I would love to do. That I could have, and then have a studio off on the side where I'm doing my show. Yeah. But probably $10,000 that I would do if I had it. Right, what you just said. A bus, an RV or something. Gut it. Where you could chill, but also you could do a show live from there. Drive from Tennessee to Florida to this. Yeah, Bobby on the road tour. There you go. I don't know if you'd raise your eyebrow. I think you'd think that'd be pretty.
I think that'd be pretty awesome.
Now if $10,000 was pocket change for me, which God bless those who can and whatever. I don't judge you, but if it was, that means that I have enough money that I would probably be looking into investing in a team. I don't care. I would own a minority stake. If I could get a majority, I would, of course. That's a dream, a far reach, not real.
Yeah.
But if I could, if I had the money, I'd buy a minority stake in a team and then slowly make my way up. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. And again, it would be, is it in the Miami Heat? Is it in the Dolphins? Of course, that's a dream. The Marlins, so they could actually do something with their lives, maybe, or is it up in Nashville, where if we actually get a WNBA team, and I think the Cleveland is going to
Cleveland got it back. The Rockers are coming back.
Cleveland Rockers.
They should bring back all the old teams first.
I'm just saying, I didn't even know Miami put a bid in until yesterday. I didn't even know.
The Miami Soul. They made the trademarks and everything again.
Yeah. But again, I know now that would be the 16th team, right? Would that be the 16th team?
I think so. I
don't know, man. I think
they still got. Still one of the most famous, the Houston Comets. They folded, and they should bring the Houston Comets back. I believe Detroit, the Shock,
Well,
did the Shock folded
all
too?
I know is that the
Yeah,
WNBA is growing at an insane rate,
yeah,
and
yeah.
a lot of eyes are on it. And I think it's cool that they added a team. Again, I didn't know anything about if I knew Miami, that was awesome. But when I heard that Nashville put an official bid with Peyton Manning and Candace Parker, the Haslams, who are from
The
Tennessee.
Cleveland, the Jimmy Haslam's, the Cleveland owner.
No.
Oh, who
Bill
else?
Haslam from the, I think, former
Oh,
governor
okay,
in Tennessee.
got you.
Anyway, they put in a bid with Peyton Manning and Candace Parker for
Yeah.
it was called the Nashville Summit for Pat Summitt, the head coach for the Tennessee
Oh,
Vols, who
yes,
passed
of
away.
course, of course.
And I was
That'll
like,
be a
that's freaking
great team.
awesome, dude. Like, yeah, like that. I'm surprised. I really like. I
You guys should
understand.
have a professional males team too. I think you guys
Absolutely.
should have one.
Yeah, I absolutely think that they should bring a NBA team, a WNBA team, Major League Baseball. Nashville is a sports town, and
Yeah.
I just think it's crazy. And again, I understand. I think that's really cool that they brought a team back, the Cleveland Rockers, and I think it's awesome to build a team. But I think Nashville makes so much sense. Women's basketball is so popular here.
Yeah.
Basketball in general, sports in general. But like, I was like, oh my goodness, and the sports town, the music city, it all makes way too much sense.
It's a perfect market. It's a perfect market, man.
It is. I was so excited. I hope it's still a realistic. Hopefully, it's still a possibility, down the line. But like,
it's just the ego about for example, the NBA owners. The reason they don't want to expand is because then the revenue sharing, they have to give up more money.
Yeah.
Like that's what. And if it's one of those things, like the rich get richer, but if you think about it, if you keep expanding, your league is going to continue to grow, but they don't want to do it because the TV deal now gets split into 34 teams, 36 teams. And you're like, oh no, I don't want, like, I don't get that, man.
The problem is when more eyes start to tune in and TV deals start to come in, that money's going to grow, but it's going to be limited if you keep it at 16 teams. Obviously you don't want to go too crazy, but at the same time,
you can't.
But again, when you have markets, maybe like a Miami,
yes.
Nashville, especially, that's new eyes. Did you say it was the other team was Dallas? Was it Dallas?
No, I don't know if they're gonna come back or not, but
no, I'm saying
Detroit Shock, Houston Comets.
Houston, when you have those type of markets and basketball markets, and especially the history behind those teams, or even the new cities, like again with the Nationals, that's something that you should do. That again, and that gives more eyes on these other stars, these other potential stars, because all the eyes are on Caitlin Clark, which
I will be intrigued. But Evan, is there a market, do you feel, in Canada for a women's professional basketball team, like in the Toronto area and all that? Because the next one now, Golden State, San Francisco got a girls team that's starting next year. The Valkyrie.
The Valkyrie.
Valkyrie, yeah.
Yeah.
So that
WNBA,
WNBA, yeah, they're starting next year.
But see, that's so cool. Like it's so growing so much that I've started thinking, like, man, how do I can put it together to do a show for WNBA? I think that would be so cool to do something like that. Those are just things that are always in my head. You know me, Alex, always trying to.
Oh, for sure, always thinking ahead.
See, there you go. Evan says Canada, especially Montreal or Toronto.
You see,
that's the thing. Like, to me, if that, maybe I would do that. If I had $10,000 in pocket change, and that's not saying to buy a team with $10,000, you don't have, that's not enough. But if that was pocket change, that means I have enough to do something like that. Maybe I would invest in something like that. Maybe I'd say, Alex, I'm going in on the WNBA. I'm gonna invest in a team to bring them to Nashville or bring back Miami or do something like that. Do something like that in a growing league because it's cheaper to build those teams up.
Absolutely.
But anyway, look at that. See, the Canadian.
We want an NBA team in Montreal. Hey. Can Montreal, for example, like I said, the Expos should have never left. You can buy a CFL team.
I would do it. A professional team, I'd do it, Evan, and Evan would be Evan would be going after people. I don't know. I was about to say I can make Evan one of the official people there in regards of commentary, but.
My bad. Toronto's getting a team in 2026. I was just looking it up. A WNBA team. A WNBA. Yes.
Nice. There you go. All right.
I forgot about that.
There you see go.
The teams that were in the running were the cities that were in the running is Charlotte, Cleveland, Denver, Detroit, Houston, Kansas City, that Patrick Mahomes made a bid, Nashville, Philadelphia. So I think they awarded it to Cleveland. I forgot that Toronto got the team. Let me see their name. Oh man, I forgot about that. That they're starting in I think it's 2026.
That's awesome, man.
Let me check it out. Toronto team name. The WNBA team in Toronto is called the Toronto Tempo. The team is scheduled to begin play in 2026.
The Tadpoles?
No, Tempo.
Oh, tempo. Like,
Toronto Tempo.
high
Yeah,
tempo type of
yeah.
situation. Oh, okay. I was wondering, where did the Tadpoles come from? That's something that's different. Can you imagine the Highly of
Tadpoles.
Tadpoles? What?
Oh man.
What?
You see the logos. The logo's pretty cool too.
Some of these names, though. I mean, my
Right here. Let
goodness.
me see the logo right there. See it?
That's clean, man. That's clean. There you go. Um. Oh my, that's funny. Dolphins. So we were talking about some releases with Miami, and how that's going to impact the draft in free agency. And shout out though to first off, Vince fans is watching. You guys can catch Overtime on Thursday night with Evan and Brett and Greg. They add the other perspective of Dolphins fandom that should be heard. I think it's great content. Shout out to George of the Fins Faithful podcast. He had Armando Salgaro on earlier tonight. They had a great show talking about the failed rebuild of Miami. I know Evan was loving on that. And then again, yesterday we had an awesome show on the clock, just talking Dolphins, and I'm very excited about what we're doing, man. Alex, I've been watching a lot of film, and I am in the middle of offensive guards right now.
Okay.
And that's why I love this show. We can take little detours. Absolutely, that's what's great
We're
about
like
the show.
we're like rest stops.
That's
So like
yeah, we are rep stops.
So I gotta pee. Oh, there we go. I gotta pee.
That's right. I gotta go to the bathroom. Wait, I need to go get something to drink.
Oh look,
What?
Wendy's is open.
That's right. But no, dude. I've been watching this film. I'm having a lot of fun. Coach and Wingate are killing it. They're awesome to work with on that, and I'm just excited about where we're going with that. But we talked about Tyreek Hill yesterday because we know the situation happened with Tyreek at the end of the season, at the last game, quitting on the team before the game was over, and then his words after the game. Which again, I have no issue with the words. It is what it is. But his that's so funny. But just the quitting on the team bothered me. Now, he had come out. He went during the Super Bowl week. He was saying, I apologize to I should have acted better. I was wrong, but didn't really close the door on being traded. He did say Miami needs to that he wants to stay in Miami, but they need to do something to make themselves more competitive and be more whatever. And then Ryan Clark and him had a little bit of a thing that he was a little upset with Ryan Clark for calling him out. And he said, I'm okay with you, but I'm not okay with you. You and I have beef. And Ryan Clark said, look, man, I won't tell you something that I won't say in your face. He said, what you did at the end of the season was wrong. That's not what a leader would do. And Tyreek's like, okay, you're right. He goes, what you did, that's, and that's not just a leader in the Miami Dolphins, that's a leader in the NFL, in this team. Something came out recently, because Miami's been off and on with what they're saying or what's coming out. Tyreek's been off and on. And there was reports saying that Miami may be interested in hearing for offers for Tyreek Hill, but it has to be a big offer. My question for you, Alex, and then I can follow up. Would you consider trading Tyreek this offseason, or would you rather wait to see how this season plays out and then look to move him the year after and just blow everything up if everything fails again? With it, counting all the situation that happened after the end of the season, what would you do with Tyreek Hill's situation? Would you let him play it out and say, "Hey, let's see what we could build up," and then maybe it's a Butler situation, not Butler in regards of quitting on the team in the midseason, but maybe a Butler situation where at the trade deadline you move him at the trade deadline if nothing's working out during the season. What would you do? How would you play this out?
If I'm gonna move him, I would try to move him before the season. The only thing is his stock is still a little low now, which is crazy to say, but he's still Tyreek Hill. If I'm going to move him, I'm moving before the season. Based, obviously, on the draft compensation, it opens up a decent amount of salary for your team to fill the holes that you need. And you need to draft a big possession receiver to team up with Jalen Waddle. And you still got Washington. So you got talent. You got talent in the wide receiver room. But obviously, Tyreek Hill is still Tyreek Hill. But if you move him, now you're pivoting to another type of receiver because you're going to keep Waddle. You got the emergence of Juno Smith. You got Devon A-Chain. So it's not like you're going to lose out a lot of production, but obviously defenses will adjust how they cover you now. They will adjust how they stack up the front 7, which might affect the running game. But I still would make a move for him before the season, because if you let it play out, unless you revamp certain part of the roster and he fully buys in, he's still probably the most dynamic wide receiver in the league when he's healthy. And granted, he had wrist issues, so I would see how he comes into camp health wise. He's probably going to be in the best condition he's ever been. Usually after a down year. And I've never had a problem with Tyreek. Just the comments were kind of, caught us by surprise because he was just speaking on emotion. Last game of the season. That's why a lot of players shouldn't talk to the media right after. They should not talk to the media the moment a game ends. Zimmer down, relax. But the fact that he checked himself out, which is what Ryan Clark called him out on, I'm 100% behind that. And you don't do that. You don't check out on your team no matter what. That's a big no-no for me. And any professional team, any team per se. But there might be a situation where, kind of like what just Evan mentioned, he plays out, and then if there's any changes, then you're talking about cleaning house again. So it's just going to be tricky. I want to see how he comes into camp, because you want to see how the team atmosphere is, the culture, because now there's going to be a shift. There's not going to be a lot of things are not going to be allowed anymore that were allowed before. I don't know how McDaniel's going to do that if it was with a position coach, because at the end of the day, it falls on your head coach. So it's very difficult to recreate a culture that you've never instilled from the beginning.
That's right.
So it's going to be interesting how it comes out. It's going to be on the players. It's going to be on the leadership of the players.
You just hit the nail on the head, and because it's hard to, because what McDaniel said at the end of the year about what he told on himself. I mean, but I think everyone, even you, and who's been a big supporter of him, and just an opportunity, not an opportunist. What's that called? High on it, just like, oh, things are gonna get better. Things are gonna get better. I'm trying to think of the word for it.
Positivism or
something like that.
Yeah,
it's another word, but anyway, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
someone like that. But even you would say it's like we all kind of figured it out where there's a little bit of an issue here with the culture in Miami where players are not being held accountable. He's not holding himself accountable and all that whatnot. And we talked about that throughout the season on all the shows, post game, pre game with Finn Stand and me, Finn's Talk today, Easton. We talked about it. He tells on himself. And he says at the end of the year, because remember, you and I, we had a debate about the team being soft and whatever.
Yeah.
And then, at the end of the year, he kind of said something. He goes, man, we had players being late to meetings. Maybe, finding was not working. We're going to change stuff here. It's not going to be the same. Look, once you've built, once that impression is on, and that people know you for it's hard to come in now and play tough guy. It's hard for, it's like, a parent. We all have our roles, in the house. There's the good cop, bad cop. Sometimes it switches, but really, if a kid doesn't, if a kid doesn't see you in that light, it's hard for them to see you in that, and change that. You have to like I don't know how it is, Alex, with you, but for me, Tati will go up to a certain point, and then all of a sudden she's either messaging me or calling me and saying, hey, this is what's going on when you get home. And I got to go, and then I'm dad,
Yeah, of course.
You know what I'm saying? And
of course,
but the kids know that. They know, like, I can play with my kids. My kids and I will have fun. We'll joke around. We'll, tease each other and all this whatnot. But when it goes down, if they step out of line, if maybe one didn't do their homework and something comes back as a 0, whatever, they know when I get home, here comes dad. I got okay. And, it's not like, but if the kids don't see you it that way, it's the same thing with players. Or you're gonna, it's gonna be hard for people to look at McDaniel that way. McDaniel, what do you think? McDaniel's gonna go, if you don't like me, you shouldn't be here. They're gonna laugh at him.
Yeah.
So it's hard. So in the regard to the Tyreek Hill situation, like you said, it's on the players.
Yeah.
The players have to hold themselves accountable. And Evan brings it right on the money, man. With it because McDaniel and Greer are both there, and we assume they're on the hot seat going into next season. They should not move Tyreek. They should keep Tyreek. Try to work it out with him. Try to build as much as you can this season with the best roster, and see what happens. Let it play out, because guess what? If it doesn't work, everyone's gone anyway. So your team is better with Tyreek right now than it is without it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially with this regime. So you keep Tyreek, You let it play out. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, then you change everything up. But if anybody's expecting a real culture change or anything of that nature, no, that's not going to happen. You just got to hope that now the players could do that. You bring in guys who are going to demand respect from the other players, and then those young guys follow suit, and then your coach kind of just tags along and rolls with it. But no one's going to see there. It can't come through McDaniel because that's not going to change, right, Alex? I mean, can you see a coach? Think about a coach situation. Can a coach this is McDaniel's fourth season he's going to be in 3 years. He's been playing good cop, buddy. He's hugging, kissing everybody, literally. Now in the fourth year, he's going to be, no, this is the way it's going to be. If you're late, you're suspended. You're this, you're that.
He's not going to change his demeanor, the way he expresses himself, but he can slowly get tougher. And there's
we don't know to get that, but that's you're saying a way that what could he do?
There is a way that he could be himself, but when it comes to accountability, you reach a point also when you're comfortable as a coach now. You're comfortable being yourself. You don't longer have to seek approval from anybody. You no longer. He's not going to change his personality. Okay, that's what I want people to understand. When I'm talking about McDaniel being tough, I'm not talking about changing your personality and all of a sudden becoming a tough guy. That is when the locker room's going to laugh at you. But he can have a different message. He can have a different approach, and he can have different consequences. Where it's still the leadership of his veteran players. He can still be a player coach, but the results now lie on him. So he's going to give responsibility. And I think who he's made captain will be a big tell of the priorities this offseason, because it's going to be it needs to be a cooperative effort from the captains, from the veteran players, where you're, like I said, he's not going to become Bill Parcells and go at his quarterback and accuse people of this and threaten people. He's not going to change who he is, but he can change certain things about the approach and about the accountability of the players. But it has to start from day one. Okay, you cannot have a brand new culture, but you can make some shifts, and winning cures all. At the end of the day, winning cures all. There's been head coaches that haven't been the toughest. You're winning. People are going to respect that. People are going to respect your style. People are going to want to play for you. But it comes with time, and it comes with how comfortable you are as a coach. It comes with how comfortable you are as a player. He already knows the players like him, and he has the respect of Tua, which is the quarterback of the team, one of the leaders of the team. Tyreek is now. What I want to see is the underlining part here that might change is, do players respect more like an Anthony Weaver than a Mike McDaniel? That is when you got some friction there. I'm not saying Anthony Weaver is going to overtake McDaniel, but there is a different persona. Anthony Weaver is a different coach than Mike McDaniel. Players respect that. Anthony Weaver is still a player's coach, but he's tough as shit. He's intimidating. So this is the part where if he can find a happy medium and hold his players accountable, even if you're a 5'7", 150-pound head coach, you can hold people accountable. Okay, so I'm just gonna see how I'm intrigued to see how he navigates this, but it has to be from day one, and it has to be upfront. He cannot be someone else. He has to be who he is for the players to continue to respect him. But now you need to remind them that you're an authority figure, and you just want them to be accountable. And I think he could get there. I think when you're a professional athlete, you can appreciate a coach speaking to you frankly and laying out the expectations. And now when he lays out the first consequences, they're going to be like, oh shit, he wasn't kidding. Like, that's the part. If people buy in the first week, or he's accountable the first week, and you have your leaders backing him up, then you got the respect of the locker room.
There you go. You get more Dolphins content, obviously, on FTSN with Real Talk, Fins Talk with Steve Malloy, Overtime with Finstanza and Brett, Greg, of course, Saturdays on Fins Talk Today, which will come back in March, and of course, Sundays now at 11 a.m. Eastern with the Miami Dolphins Draft Show on the clock. But my goodness, so back to life very quick and keep it rolling here. But is basketball season over for you?
Yes, basketball season is over for me, and now I'm helping out obviously in volleyball. So volleyball season is starting. But that's a
How
little
would
bit
you coach
smoother.
volleyball? How would you coach volleyball?
Well, I'm more of obviously I'm an assistant coach in volleyball, and I'm more of a stabilizing presence in regards to we have a magnificent women's coach that which I think is super cool because we kind of started the trend. It was one of the first female coaches for male varsity volleyball. And this year we're only gonna have a varsity team. Her husband's obviously helping us out too. Obviously, they've been playing volleyball and coaching volleyball for 20 plus years. So this is a sport that I started picking up because I was helping them. The school didn't have a coach, and me and one of our basketball coaches at the time, we volunteered, and we were going to help out that year, and we were going to put a team together. Just we were going to be on the sideline because the team had veteran players that knew the game, and we were just going to kind of learn along the way. She saw me the first week in tryouts, and obviously I've never done volleyball tryouts, so I don't know what I'm looking for. It's pretty cool because when it comes to agility and speed, it's very similar to basketball. There's a lot of lateral movement, a lot of forward and backpedaling and
Yeah.
stopping on the dime, deceleration, acceleration. You're basically always in a zone. So that part I picked up quick. The rotations took me a while. The lingo took me a while. The positions on the court took me a while. But basically, what I'm learning as I go still, and this is my third year, I have a great time with them. It's a different vibe. Playing volleyball and playing basketball is completely different. It's still a competitive sport, which is insane. The momentums are huge. The momentum swings in volleyball are huge, and it's just a different feel. Like I actually enjoy. I relax a little bit more even while I'm coaching, and I start giving guys advice in regards. Well, my fortitude is in positioning, in space, so I help out with that. I can't give them technical forms. I see certain things because it's kind of like a shot. So when they're going to serve or when they're going to hit, you kind of already see the mechanics of it. So I can see who has good mechanics, bad mechanics, if they're jumping off the wrong leg, if they're not using their proper form. So it's something cool that I've been able to pick up, but I'm still learning. So you still see me constantly ask questions in practice, but it's kind of something that I look forward to help out, to assist in any way, and also kind of be like a translator because a lot of the kids in our team are Spanish speaking. There's a lot of volleyball players from Venezuela, Colombia, and our coach
Oh,
just speaks English. So I'm kind of also the translator in regards to it. But yes, Tati, uh, being in a volleyball match, 5 sets is insane, and we had a lot of those last year. We lost some players. We're a younger team now, a little bit more athletic, but it's super competitive. It's super competitive, and it's kind of like it. I always say it's a great relationship builder, and a lot of basketball players for off-season conditioning they play volleyball, so that's also a plus. People talk about volleyball players. Do not disrespect volleyball players when it comes to conditioning. You have to be a well-conditioned athlete to play volleyball, man. Like legit, you get drained out there. You get exhausted out there. But it's just a cool experience for me. It really is. I'm enjoying it.
so that's really cool. So you gone from one to the other. Yeah,
Yeah.
basketball season's done for us too.
Yes.
That season wrapped up. We did go to the following game just to watch them, the next two games, and could have won. We got screwed by the referees. Man, I'll tell you, it was just funny. The game before last, the guy, I was telling Tati, and she noticed on the in the audience in the bench, what do you call it,
Yeah.
the bleachers?
And the stands. Yeah. And the
Yeah,
bleachers.
the bleachers. Because we're about to start the game, and they're about to check in and everything else, and as soon as they're about to check in, you get these two other coaches on the other side. They already start complaining. They're like, "Hey, isn't it supposed to be 6 feet back? It's supposed to be 6 feet." Like right away. And I remember I'm looking at them. I'm going, "Are you serious, dude? Like
Yeah.
we are just starting. What are you
Yeah.
doing?" Like, and of course I always notice there's 2-on-1, and it is okay. I don't care. I'd rather. But one dad helped me the final game during the tournament, which was fun. But I just thought find it funny, And of course the referees. It was just not the first that game we won. We beat them. Second game, they are those coaches, Alex. Yeah. Yeah, they were.
There's nothing worse than coaching against coaches like that.
Dude, the game that we played them again in the
Yeah,
tournament, and right before the game starts, I'm here. I'm going with the kids. I'm saying, let's line up, get in line, do some free throws, and then I
yeah,
have them start dribbling. You do some layups. Practice the layups.
yeah.
And talking all of a sudden, the coach goes, the referee goes, coach, is some guy I've never seen. He's refereeing this game, some older guy, not old, white hair. And he called and I go, yeah, what's up? And he's with that guy, the other coach. He goes, well, we were talking. I just want to follow up on some rules, very quick. You want to make sure you do this and make sure too. We were talking, and then he kind of fixes himself and he goes, well, just make sure you're always 6 feet behind the line. Make sure you're 6 feet behind the line. And then he goes, I go, all right.
And what line? The check-in line?
No. The center, the half court line. That remember I told you, Alex, you can't do press. You got to wait until they pass.
I got you. Yes. Okay.
And I always tell my kids, let them get past, and as soon as they pass,
blitz them.
Go get them.
Gone.
Go get them. And my kids, that's one thing I'm always proud of. I always tell these kids. I always told them, defense is obviously I always say, what's the most 5 things? And obviously teamwork, communication, dribble, pass, shoot. Defense. And I'm like, especially when you're down, defense doesn't matter more than the shots. Get the ball back. Make them uncomfortable. Because eventually they're going to start throwing they're going to start doing crazy shots.
Don't make mistakes.
Then you got to hit your shots. And anyway, yeah, that's right. And the referees, because that's probably, maybe that's right. Maybe that's exactly what happened. But I remember that after that tournament game, and the kids were so upset because they just didn't understand. But again, for me, and what I told the kids, and I told Tati after, was that you can't leave it up to the referees, can't leave it up to the refs. And that's what happened. We allowed you got to make your shots, and the kids weren't making their shots, and it was just what it was. And we made it. It was a 3-point game at the end. We got it right within 3 in the final seconds. We came back, got it within 3, but it just wouldn't work out. But again, you left it to the referees because there was a lot of random ass calls, and that's the first time we got calls before. One of these kids, Leo, he's amazing. The kid has a motor. There's no quit. He's feisty as hell. That's why you put him in there. And you got to make sure, obviously all the kids get a chance to play. It's not like you could decide, these kids aren't playing. You got to play them and just pray that even the ones that they're liability, but what you got to be strategic. Then you got to go, okay, these are the kids that are going to play in this quarter. Then you're going to mix it up and get these, and maybe these kids will outweigh what these kids are. Anyway, but Leo's the one that you would throw in there, and he'll steal the ball, and he can, even despite how small he is, he's going to throw it up, and he can maybe hit a shot, but he will get you a lot of fouls. He tugs and pulls and smashes and reaches and everything else.
He's sloppy.
He's sloppy, but he'll get it. But it was a great experience.
Leo, if you're listening, move your feet before your hands, buddy. Trust me, that happens to my son. Move your feet before your hands.
That's right. You start thinking it's so crazy. For me, I'm like, I always look forward to the games. Practices are a headache. I get through once it's over, I feel better about it. You go as the season starts to wrap up, you're excited about the tournament. You're like, you want to win. At the same time, you're like, I can't wait for a break. I cannot wait for a break. And then when the season's over, you're like, finally. But then at the same time, now you're sitting there going, what should I have done differently? What am I going to do next season? Now I'm reading these books, and I'm reading. And I'm practicing. I'm with Tristan. I'm like, okay, you got to make sure you're doing this. You're keeping your ball here. Make sure your shoulder's here.
It's insane. And I think Stan Van Gundy summarizes the perfect way. Sometimes you just have to let certain things go.
Yeah.
But even after a game, if you sit down, you can go over a whole game, and you can question at least 20 to 25 things that you did and didn't do. But at the end of the day, there's nothing you can do. You can prepare yourself, but even professional coaches make these mistakes. They put up the wrong lineup. So it's intense. And a season, even if it's 2 to 3 months, it's a long season. You get tired of seeing each other. Even if they're kids, you get exhausted. Man.
Dude, first off, all of them are awesome kids. Tristan was great. Tristan was like, "Oh, you've done that. Put me in the second or third." I'm like, "Dude, first of all, I'll put you in whenever I put you in." I said, "I need you to go in the first because I'm eventually bring you into the fourth." Because again, even when they're not making shots, I know he's going to play amazing defense, and he could steal. He could put his hand up and make a block. There are certain kids that you go, "Okay, I know the ones that are going to do it." and I'm not saying that my son can't. He can. He hits very good shots. I mean,
Right.
there were some things that this season where I'm like, yo, who is this? Like when he's doing something. But obviously, again, it's strategy. But like you were saying, Alex, after a while, you're kind of like, oh my gosh. But then you start thinking, you're like, this is what I should have done differently. And next season, now we move into this was 7 to 8. Now we go into like the 8th, and I think it's like I don't know if we go back to 8, but now we get to the 10-year-old
9 and 10.
Yeah, and then it's become a little more competitive. And trust me,
it gets good at this.
Doesn't
age.
matter how old the kids are. It's still very competitive. Well, first of all, the average. I think the highest score is the 30s.
It's in the yeah.
Well, I'm saying the highest score.
The highest score
was in the 30. Because remember, Alex, my first game it was 36-0. Remember, I messaged you. I was last year we were 36.
It all depends on the team.
But average, you're talking about 16, 15, 18, around that area. It's not kids don't score a lot of points. The younger kids.
You're telling me this, and I'm putting myself back because the last time I coached this age group was 4 years ago. No, 3 years ago. It was my son's last year that I vouched. After that, I started coaching in the rec, like the 15 and 16s, because I wanted to get back into it like many years ago. And then when my son turned 6 or 5, they needed a coach and we started coaching. And the last 2 years, we won back-to-back championships. And the last year that we coached, the highest, the average score on a weekly basis was like high 30s, low 40s. And that was 9 and 10.
Yeah.
So those games are going to get much better because the kids are a little bit more offensively gifted by that time.
Yeah.
Like more developed.
That's right. And I mean, I already saw it this year. I mean, there's some kids, we're Leo, awesome. Tristan, and but there was just like one kid, that one boy was really good. He was good player. He does competitive basketball a lot, but he was into soccer too. Okay. And so I think that took away a lot from him in these last couple games. There's a little boy, Max, who was like that dude. When you put that kid in, you knew you got a real legit.
No, but 1 hour games. I think you play 6-minute quarters, right?
6-minute quarters.
Yeah, so it's 24 minutes.
Yeah, 24 minutes, 6-minute quarters. Yeah, not 1 hour games. No.
Yeah.
No, but that's coming. I don't know how many minutes the 10-year-old get. But
8. I think it's 8 minutes.
Okay. So I don't know.
And I think now the basketball they play
gets a higher
in a regulation court because right now you're playing the smaller courts, right?
Yeah. No, not smaller courts.
Oh, you play the regulation courts?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I don't know.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, the hoops are lowered.
Yeah, the hoops are lowered,
but the court's the same.
Okay.
Because the courts are the same, but no, 24 minutes ain't bad. And the kids
at all.
No, and 30 plus minutes. No, 30 points in 24 minutes ain't bad. That game was great last year, and we it was like that this year. It was just kids have fun, and again, defense is more important. I'd rather see the 0. I'd rather see a 13-0 win than a 30-29, because then I'm like, we had to fight for that. But it's going to get more competitive. It was it was very competitive this season. I really enjoyed it. Again, you get sick. You're like, oh my God, I got to keep, oh my Lord, but, and then you're stressed out. When you win, it's awesome. When you lose, you're pissed. You're looking at you're trying to think
this weekend in the tournament, my son, the first game we were up 10 and we lost basically on a buzzer beater. They hit a shot with 4 seconds left and we lost by 1. The second game, we were down 30-5. I don't know what the hell happened to them. And we ended up losing that game 34-24. So we outscored them. We outscored them 19-4 the last 6 minutes of the second half. And then we were able to make it to the qualifying round. And yesterday we lost by 2. It was 39-37. And these are, it's 5th grade, so it's 10, 11-year-olds. But it's tricky. Sometimes we got from 9 to 12, you get me, depending on the size, which is pretty insane. When you walk in, there's an 11-year-old kid that's my size, like legit. Yeah. Like it's insane. You're like, whoa.
Tati was telling me that, and
yeah,
like I don't know how far I'm. First off, I'm really enjoying it. Where I'm like, dude, I could see myself doing this and having a blast, and I really do have a blast.
Yeah.
But it's difficult with younger kids. Like I start thinking, like, man, if I had older kids or older, like I could see having fun and really enjoying it and being able to communicate a little better because they're more understanding. Like, dude, when you're telling someone go this way, go, or you're talking to them and they're kind of like,
yeah. Like, but don't be surprised. It's a different level of frustration when
I
you
know.
coach 16, 17, 18-year-olds, because then they have a mind of their own.
Yeah.
And when they get on the court, sometimes they don't execute exactly how
Well,
you
that's
know
something I
they
was like,
should.
that's what I was
And you're
explaining.
like,
I said it to Tati because those the people that we were talking about, those coaches that were complaining that we beat
yeah,
them and we beat them really good, and then we lost them by 3 the
yeah,
next game. They had a clipboard, and they tell the kids, come here, come here, come here. And, they're going, oh, sorry. And they start going like, and you see them, they're drawing up plays. They're drawing up
yeah,
plays. And the
yeah,
kids are watching and whatever. And Tati's telling me, she's like, oh, maybe, you need, you got to get a clipboard.
yeah,
And I'm
yeah. You
telling her,
definitely
and I
got to
said,
get a clipboard.
for me, I said, these kids, I'm always telling them, I'm keeping them before they, but during the practice, I'm telling them 3 ahead, 2 back on offense.
Yeah.
And I said the 2 kids that can't shoot really, but they could probably shoot from under the, like closer to the rim.
Yeah.
Just make an 8, rotate around, get open, make open.
Yeah.
But even then, you're telling them,
What
hold on.
Tati says there is true right there. The
need a
reason of
visual-
the clip, because they see it and they see the court and they can visualize what they're doing.
So my thing was for them, now again, with an older group, 10 years old. But here's my thing. I'm telling them exactly what it is, and they will do it in practice, and they will do it during the game, the first couple things. But all of a sudden, I say, and I'll tell them, make sure you're going here, you're going there, you're going there. They'll start doing it. You'll follow. It's like, oh my God, this is synergy. They're doing exactly what they're supposed to do. Of course, you got these little,
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, it starts to break apart. And so what I was saying was, with these younger kids, there's some of them you got to say, just get open. Just get open. With the other ones that you see are a little more here, like the Max and the Hayes or the Tristan, whatever, where I'm telling you, not even Tristan, because Tristan has that problem where I have to, his mother and his grandfather are talking on the bleachers. Get through, shoot, dribble, do this. Tristan, put your hand and Tristan's looking at him going, and I'm telling Tristan, go this. And I finally have to say, I told Tati, I was like, hey, dude, shut up.
Yeah.
And I'm telling Tristan, I don't care who's talking to you in the bleachers. Pay attention to what's on the court. Pay attention to over here, because these kids get so damn distracted.
Yeah. It happens. Yeah.
So anyway, but those are the things where if I do go into that next year, or next season, that
definitely get a clipboard. Yes.
Implementing, because they're older, and I feel more better telling them, okay, now this is what we're going to be doing, because the practice will be a little different. She's here. I ain't scared.
And the
I
thing
ain't scared,
is,
label. You know that.
Once you have it in
I've said it
practice, they're able to understand the visual representation on the court, which is actual on-court walkthroughs, and then they're able to see it in the clipboard.
Well, that's
and you tell them what you want them to do. You rotate them, you move them.
What I would tell them is, and what I'll do is I already looked it up and I know what I'm getting is the one with the marker, instead of like one of those markers where you could erase and keep going, dry erase board.
Bobby, they actually have one that's even pretty cool. It looks like an Etch-a-Sketch. So you actually it's like a pen, obviously, but it doesn't write. It just marks on the screen, and when you want to clear the screen, all you got to do is press a button, and it clears the screen. That's
Easy.
another one that's pretty cool for kids.
Okay. So,
and there's one that has magnets, by the way. That's the one that we used to use for Little League. When we coached the rec leagues, it comes with little magnets and the position number. So you can move the magnets around. And it's balls, and it's the magnet, and you have a magnet ball too. So you can tell them, if the ball goes here, I want you to move here, you to move here, you to move there, because sometimes it's less messy than drawing on the board.
It's a Tristan thing. Sorry, Tati was saying that Tristan, he's the only one who really responds to the audience, because there are kids that, and that's why it was my example to my son, because he's paying attention to his grandfather. And getting frustrated because they're yelling at him, and I'm telling him, ignore that. And that's true. There was a kid that had a whole family back there. And they were screaming.
He's tuned in.
Rebound, shoot, block out. And he was just zoning in. But now if I said something, cut this way, go under the rim, cut back, he looks at me, okay, and he starts doing what he's doing. It's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun, but it's a high stress thing, but it's a blast, and like, again, even though I was really looking forward to the end of it, after it over, I was like, oh, okay, good. I could kind of chill a little bit. I'm already okay, when do I get back? When do I, where, you know what I mean? Like,
and it's good to have, and I tell you this from even me, and you know how much I love the game, and how much, obviously now it's still my son playing travel basketball. You have to have escape once in a while, because it becomes too much of one thing. And I think that's one thing kids have lost, especially with AAU sports now. and where the sports, that's why sports were seasonal. That's why even professional sports are seasonal, because it's overkill when you do it over and over and over again. You need like a decompressor, and you just need to relax sometimes, because then you overdo things, you overthink things, and it still happens to me, even with my son. And I try not to train him as much, but there's certain things that I was seeing over the last few weeks that I'm like, I just scratched up the whole training regimen he was on, and I'm doing something brand new on with me, because I gave him a while where I wasn't even touching his game, and he fixed a few things on his own and letting the coaches. But when sometimes you see him get a little too lazy, I'm like, nah, because we are in season. We are in tournament season. We're traveling. This isn't where we're gonna have fun and play a rec league game. No, 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 no. You're paying to do this. Like, you're paying to get. It's like, you need to focus. And when you're done, you can take a break. But you also start realizing, you're like, dude, these are 10-year-olds. These are 11-year-olds. Like, those are the things that I'm like,
That's what I had to tell myself, because, after the end of the game, it's more my son, and he would tell me, he goes,
yeah,
"Why are you harder
yeah.
on me?" And I start to realize, but again, you got to tell
Hey,
yourself, and that's where, like, the last couple games, I was like, I'm gonna try to I got to back off, because I was
yeah,
a lot harder. I'm like, dude,
of
what the hell was
course.
this? You got to do this, and why the hell are you looking at this? And
Yeah.
there was one time where Tristan, this kid fouled the hell out of his friend, one of his teammates, and Tristan got in his face with his fist ball though.
Yeah.
And I'm on the sideline. I'm like, yo, I start going, no, 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 no. I said, what are you doing? I'm telling him, I said, don't do that. And so he goes like this. And at the end game, I kind of went on him, and he was all very upset because we lost and all this one.
Yeah.
And then I realized, it's like, dude, they're kids.
Yeah.
Like, I got,
It's the part. It's the part.
but it's competitive. We go
Yeah.
through that. Your son is having a fit listening to you. Oh, he's listening. But
yeah, and I've been hard on him, and he knows, and Jamila knows it. I've been super hard on him, to the point where that's one of the reasons I'm no longer coaching him, because no, I don't, I didn't realize he's 11 now. I've always known he's 11, but you can't, you gotta have a motor. You gotta have a motivating factor, and you gotta understand, if you're playing for fun, that's great. But if you are playing for a little bit more, there's extra work, because that's
well,
what you want to do. You asked
yeah,
to do this.
no, yeah,
So
no. I
that's
mean,
different.
first of all, for me too, it's like even with my son, it's first of all, you got to teach them when they're young.
Absolutely.
And again, yeah, you don't want to go too crazy, because let them enjoy the game, let them learn the game, let them love the game, and love doing it, and love just having fun, and because after a while they start to shut you out. But at the same time, I agree, you got to you got to get to that point where you got to teach them.
Always.
Because when they're
Always.
younger, that way as they grow, it becomes a part of their character and
Habits are built. When you want to know who someone is, put them in a competitive environment. You want to know what a man is, a man, or woman is a woman, in where it reaches the point of adversity. You're always going to face adversity in every sector of your life. So
you can show me those comments. That's funny.
I would rather have a kid that you got to calm down and be like, yo, relax, than a kid that you got to rev up.
Yeah.
Like, you can't, you need to understand adversity and how to deal with it. And the number one thing that always teaches you that, and of teamwork, working as a team, because you're always going to be surrounded by people, is competitive sports. And it shapes you up if you do it the right way. Now, a lot of parents now, modern day parents, are excusing behaviors and allowing behaviors in kids because they have to respect their feelings, or they have to do this. Look, man, no one's going to respect your feelings when you're on the streets. No one is going to respect who you are in your streets unless you earn that respect and you give that respect to another person. So competitive sports shapes that. And unfortunately, you're going to start seeing that, Bobby, as you get older. A lot of parents take out their frustration on their kids on the court.
As I get older?
No. As you get,
we're almost the same age.
No,
man.
Apart, as Tristan gets older, bro, in competitive sports, man.
Talking to me like I'm an 11-year-old?
We're the same.
Bro, as you get older, Bobby, you'll realize a year from now, you'll be like, man, I remember when Alex told me when I was younger. Like, what?
Like, you're going to see it. And like I said, have I been perfect in my approach at times? No, I haven't. With other kids, and it's 100% unequivocally true. You're always tougher on your own son because it's yours. It's part of you. It's your blood. You're not. It's not that you're frustrated as a dad. You're just like, it's not that you're frustrated as a coach only. Also as a dad, as a father. So you're 2 in 1, and it affects your relationship at times. That's why sometimes you got to let go of certain things, coaching wise. Where I kind of like what I'm doing now, and what I want to start emphasizing now, is the part of understanding the time and place. Here with the fuck who hurt me? No one fucking hurt me, bro. Jesus Christ, man. I
That
swear to
is
God.
that's so good. Who hurt you?
Jesus Christ, bro.
When I was a
It's
little
look,
boy,
man.
my coach yelled at me.
Hey,
It's like,
look, hey, I had tough coaches, but I wasn't a whiner. I didn't have a problem with whining. I didn't have a problem with accountability when it comes to playing. If I fucked up a play, I was accountable for it and I learned from it. And you saw me. I was working every night until 2 or 3 in the morning, just by myself, shooting, nonstop.
Mhm.
So I always had that drive. And in hindsight, I really didn't have a dad that pushed me because my dad didn't really care if I was a sports star or if I did sports. He wanted me to be active. He wanted me to do something that I was happy, but he wasn't this father that was frustrated because he wanted to be a sports star. And I'm not frustrated either. I just want my son and any person that's out there that they could be the best version that they can be. Understand your time frame. Like, I need to do this. I'm focused now. I'm gonna have my break, but I need to take it seriously because these kids don't realize when you get into these travel sports and all that, and as you get older, there's a time for joking around, but it doesn't take much to be serious for an hour and a half in practice
Yeah.
while still having fun
Yeah.
and being serious for 24 minutes on a Saturday night, a Saturday morning. Like
Yeah.
you can show them like this is important. Like we want you to have fun, but you got to value it. You got to take it seriously. You're in a team. Other people are depending on you. That's a life lesson. So, oh yeah, for sure, 100%, Tati. 100%.
No, absolutely. But again, that's why you show them when they're young, because that way, when they break free or they're working with someone else,
Yeah,
they remember. Hey, I remember when my father or my mother was telling me that I have to be respectful or I have to do this. There's just things like that. But I understand too, and it's with your kids, it's different. But I remember I was telling Tristan, because you are my son, and I'm doing this for you.
correct.
I can't talk to those kids like that. I got to
Yeah,
with you. I could work. That. Now you know what I expect from you.
of course.
When you're, and it's little things. It's the little things. It's they're not paying attention. If everyone else is looking at me, but my own son is the one going like
Yes.
this.
Yep. In La La Land.
Or talking to the friend and doing something else. Now they're distracted. I'm going,
makes
yo.
a mistake, and then makes a mistake when you were talking about the same
Yep,
thing that he
yep,
just
yep,
and he
yep.
just fucked it up. You're like, do you see? You see what
Yeah.
I'm talking about, buddy? Like,
Yeah.
you
No,
can't-
it's true. Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. And that's the stuff that I tell him. I was like, dude, and I'm telling him in the car, say, this is why, I'm doing it. How does that, how does that look? How do you expect the other kids to react? And, you should be 100% looking at me. Oh, okay. Now, but if you're going La La Land, and so that's what I would explain to him. And now as the season went on, it'd get better. Same thing. Something early on in the season. Every kid wants to shoot. Every kid wants the ball. They all want to play the hero. They all want to be the one who makes the play. But again, I was telling them, and I would tell this to Tristan because he would do it. He would get right in front of the guy. Give me the ball, give me the ball, give me the ball. And he's hovering around him. And I go, dude, eventually now you're playing defense against your own guy.
Correct. You're bringing the defense through them too.
Go get open. Move around. Sometimes you're scoring without scoring. If you're running over that way, that means you're taking a part of that defense with you. And now he's not crowded. Now you go get open. That's what I tell the kids. It's not all about shooting. It's about passing. It's about movement. It's about communication. That's the thing when I tell them. Well, I say, for me, the board is not for right now. Let's not talk about a board or writing on a board. This is what I need you guys to do. You're on the court. Learn to communicate. You're dribbling up court. You go, hey, go that way, and pass it there. You go this way, and then you pass it over here. You work it that way. But again, that's what some of the stuff that would just go, oh my, yeah. Just Tati would be like, yeah, because he's going right for me ball. And they're like, dude, stop. And that's the stuff where I would tell him in the car. But like, what are you doing? If I'm telling you to move out of the way, But Dad, I was open, but he's not passing me the ball. You don't always need the ball.
You're not always going to get the ball.
Not always. Guess what? If you're assisting, then Russ Morgan, host of On Deck Baseball Podcast,
there.
He says here, fortunately, the years of playing and coaching sports, the reason kids quit sports, love future to be. Are trying to relive their glory days. There you go, too. Yeah. Every kid wants the glory. Every kid wants the glory. He's been.
No, and what Dia said that they'll appreciate it later is one thing is that what I think, and this is I'm putting my son aside. This is my coaching philosophy for the players that I actually coach in high school. What I feel is developmental years. A lot of coaches sometimes do a disservice to the players because they box them in and they put limits on players. And I'm always realistic with the players. That's why we have exit meetings and everything after a season. Things that they got to work on, things that they got to improve individually. But I want every player to be able to do everything, but understanding that they're not going to be good or great at everything that they do. They should strive to be efficient in every area of the game. But every player by nature, every human by nature has natural talent. Some players are better shooters, even if they got bad mechanics. Some players are better shooters. Some players are better passers. Some players move laterally quickly. Some players can rebound. That's part of your development. But at 7, 8, 9, 10, especially when you get into the 9 and 10, you start building habits and you start building limits. When they're in their vocabulary, I can't or it's okay. At least you tried. That's a very slippery slope because you have to recognize when it's true effort and when you gotta also recognize when it's accountability and be like, did you really try? Like, is that what you consider trying? I don't mind the mistakes. I don't mind the turnovers. I don't mind the missed shots, but your effort, why were you complaining when you didn't get a foul call and your teammate had to recover for you and you allowed a basket on the other end? Why? Because you were complaining and whining? That's a bad
right.
habit.
100,000%.
That's
what
one
I would
thing
say.
you can't allow.
Don't be looking at the referees. Don't
Correct.
be making things. Don't be doing all this and all that. Just go back and go cover transition defense. Go cover your guy.
That is the part that you see a lot of AAU basketball now as you get older. A lot of complaining, a lot of lack of just next play mentality. Like you're gonna make mistakes, bro.
Yes.
You're gonna turn the ball over.
I was telling this one kid, I was like, dude, every time he missed a shot, it was just, oh my god. And I'm like, oh my god. And I'm like, dude, I said,
shut up.
Just go gut to the next play. Yeah. Go get the rebound or go back on defense and go get that ball back and go pass it out. Or just guess what? Instead of trying to make a three that you can't make, get a little closer and then make your shot.
Yeah.
But just, follow through. Just follow through. But that's the stuff. And let me just say, just shout out, and Russ isn't wrong. Russ played baseball growing up, scouted baseball, college baseball, played college. Awesome dude, guys. Check him out on Wednesday nights for On Deck Baseball podcast here on FTSN. He's right on. What I will say though, and my son, thank God, really does enjoy it and loves it and loves sports. Wants to play baseball, wants to go back into basketball. We're thinking about putting him in a basketball camp. Wants to go back into football. He loves playing sports and wants to do soccer too. Again, he did this be a second time.
Those summer camps are great, Bobby. For him.
Yes, I know. Tati and I talked about
individual work is really good, really good.
And we've talked about that and doing that. And again, he hasn't gotten sick of me. He always, Dad, can we go outside? And he said that work with me, and I'm just telling him, like today we were doing that. That's 30 degrees outside and we're outside and we're I was like,
you can't teach that. You can't teach that. If he's the one asking you, you cannot teach that. That is passion from within. So he's going to improve naturally.
Alex, every day you would be proud of this because that's you in regards to like when we were growing up.
Yeah.
Every day I come home from work, the sun's going down. I hear that ball, and he's in the backyard. And he comes up, he runs, he peeks a little eye in the hole. Dad. I'm like, what's up, baby? How you doing? He goes, Dad, come outside. I'm like, all right, let me just get in the house, and I'll go back there. And he's practicing. Let's do 1-on-1. Or toss me the ball, and he'll toss. And I'm doing it. He loves doing the buzzer beaters, and I'm telling him.
Oh yeah, that's the age. That's the age for the buzzer beater.
Oh, he loves the buzzer beater. So we play NBA 2K. He wants to get to that final second.
My son's down to the half court shots like Curry. Like he's throwing poke shots from like half court and shit. I'm like, bro, focus. Work on your close game.
But he loves it, dude. He loves it, and he works with his grandfather. He practices with his grandfather outside. When I get home, he's practicing with me. And like today, I went outside. I just wanted fresh air. It's cold out, Alex. It's 30-something degrees. We're gonna have a winter storm.
Beautiful.
But I was outside. I was like, I want to get some fresh air. I just told Tati, I just want to get some fresh air. I went outside, went walking, just thinking to myself. My son comes out. I didn't want you to be lonely. I'm like, I'm not lonely, dude. I just want to chill.
I want to be alone, son.
I was like, so I'm out here for a reason. But but we started. Then he was like, can you show me how to do? And I was like, well, I said one of these cool things is the hook shot. I started
the hook shot, yeah.
I said, you dribble. Hook. And then we started doing it. He started laughing. But I just had him doing corner shots. I go, try to go 10 in a row. And he couldn't do it. I said, we do 10 in a row. when do I? And then I would reset him. He missed it. And I go, okay. And he do it again. I go, 1, 2. He goes, wait, what do you mean 1? He's like, what do you mean? I go, right. You got to reset. You missed out. It's like,
sucks for you, buddy.
That it's true, Alex. That's what's great about him is that he wants to keep doing it. He loves it. Dad, can we go practice? Dad, can you show me? That I love it too. That's what makes me love it more. And I do. I really do enjoy it.
That translates well. That translates to a coachable kid.
He is
because that's the number one thing. That's the number one thing for advancement and development. You have
one
to
of the
be
referees
coachable.
were laughing because he come up to me before the game. He goes, Dad, I mean, and I was like doing something with helping another kid out with something. He goes, Dad, and he's behind me, and I went to go turn around, and he goes, I mean, coach. Listen, and the referee started laughing. He goes, Dad, coach,
Dad, coach.
And I started going, I'm not your dad on this. I started joking with the referee. Go,
I'm your coach,
dad, son. I'm coach.
Coach.
You're adopted.
Say it right.
Like the referee. Oh shit!
I never wanted you. What? What's that? Like that's
on this court. You're adopted. You're not. I was like, whoa.
You're my son.
Yeah. Oh man, we had too much fun. Too much fun.
I already told that. By the way, my son might go to another high school, opposite of where I'm at. So if I'm still coaching there, I told them I'm gonna take him out like the first moment.
Oh really? Yeah. If I'm coaching against you, son,
I'm gonna take your ass out, son.
My day.
I'm gonna take your ass out. Double team him, blitz him every time.
He's out of the game. You're like, Jamila's in the bleachers.
Yeah, I ain't coming home that night.
You ain't coming home that night. Sleep in the car.
Hey, whatever it takes to win, bro.
Yeah, damn right. Damn right. We know all the weaknesses.
It builds character.
Yeah, there you go. That's our thing. Oh man, but anyway.
Oh man.
All right. Well, Alex, any final thoughts, bro, before we wrap this one up?
Not much in regards to overall. All-Star break is good. Even the NBA players need a break. I do want to say that I hope they give the option to the players, with the Players Association where they meet up. Supposedly they might be intrigued by a King of the Court type of thing, which is a one-on-one tournament with NBA players.
Yeah.
So they gotta because they're getting too much into this trickery and to these tournaments. They're trying to get the viewership up. Like, just stick to the game, improve the game, and the players itself will tell you what they want to improve, and the fans themselves will let you know. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's some fans interactions, what they want to see. Hell yeah.
What?
Hey,
it's like, what?
Bro, you gotta. The other day, look, I'm granted this is the limits, right? When I play pickup with my son, I don't go as I can go, obviously.
Yeah, well,
and I'm just there hanging out. I'm just there shooting a little bit. I let him drive by. The other day I beat him. I think it was 20-2, and he's like, Ted, like,
I don't go 40.
Why don't you play? Well, why do you play like this all the time? Like, why don't we play like we did before? I'm like, that shit's gonna change, man. I've seen you play your games lately. You're done. And he's like, but. And he's all upset at me and mad. He's throwing shit. Like he slammed the door, goes inside the house. And Jamila's like, oh my God, what happened? I'm like, just beat his ass.
It's the same thing. Just to get so mad. First off, it's not 40-0. It's I say it's 21 point. It's a 21 game up. 21 game point. You get 22. You win. And what? I mean, he could play. I tell him, you could be a little more rougher with me.
Of course.
Hey,
you gotta beat him until you can. When the time you get 16, 17,
you know what he started doing?
Ass, bro.
You know what he started doing? And one of the times I was real proud of him. I still beat him, but what's real proud of him was that he would start dribbling because he would try to come up and and I would hit the ball, jump,
just block the shot.
Yeah, whatever. Now Tati, if she's outside, she'll you're like, let's go. I'm messing with you. And he goes, but what he started doing, he would stop. Like I'm waiting for him to come up, or I'm backing up. He would stop and shoot further away. He starts hitting the threes or hitting the twos. It's 2 and 1. He starts hitting the twos. And I'm like, I'm saying, and he keeps going this. He always goes this way. He'll start cutting this way. And like, what are you doing? There's a whole other side here.
Exactly.
That's on you. Why are you so mad?
Yeah.
Start playing, and so he'll start doing it. So, it's sort of tell Alex what he does when you yell at him. Tell Alex what he does when you yell at him.
What does Tristan do when you yell at him? Well, like that, I guess. Like, let's go.
What does he do? Gets mad? Tristan's slick. Tristan is my son for sure. Audrey's, I know all my kids would be like, they got my sense of humor. Like Tristan the other day, you'll love this. I'm wearing one of the shirts now. It's a comfortable shirt. I got a whole bunch of them. And I'm like, oh, this is awesome. I could sleep in them. I could wear them under my shirt. No, when he does something bad. Just tell what he does when you yell at him. The jiggle. Yeah, see, okay, so this is what happened. So he has my sense of humor, Alex. And I mean, so the other day, I got these shirts and I'm wearing it and I have my pajama pants on, and I forgot what happened. He was doing something with his grandmother. He was getting ready for bed and he was talking back to her or something. Not really talking back, but just being mouthy. Yeah. So I went in there. I said, who the hell are you talking to? And I was like, dude, get dressed. Like, what's the matter with you? You want this so bad. If you really want to do like watch a movie or whatever it is, I said, if you go take a shower earlier, you get dressed, you can watch a little bit of TV and go to bed. I said, if you're not, you're just listening to music. And he's just looking at me. And a lot of times he'll be like this. Okay, Dad. This time he's looking at me and he goes, and he goes, why is your belly moving like that? And I go, what? He goes, why does it jiggle like that? He goes, oh, it's weird. And I'm looking at it, I go, and Jeannie's kind of like, and I go, now I'm sensitive. I'm like, hey, shut up, man.
I'll kill you, bro.
No.
I'll murder you.
Yeah, what are you doing, bro? Like, is this a game? I'm like,
you want to play? You want to fuck around and play something?
Also, I'm like, I'm going to change my shirt. I'll be right out. I'm like, hell no. But it was like, I told Tati, I had to leave. I was like, can't even be mad. So I'm not even mad.
Lace him up, son.
Yeah,
outside,
that's right.
21, baby.
Hey, you know what, son? You're right. Get dressed again. Come outside. I want to talk to you for a second.
Let's go.
What? Little shit. Sorry, but it was impressive. And Audrey's the same way. Audrey is really kept. And I know Ellie would be like that too. But Tristan, it was so fast. He was so fast. Like with it, what I mean? I'm like,
they're fucking assholes, man. They're fucking assholes.
Oh, dude.
And there's nothing that pisses you off more when you're trying to discipline them, or like you're trying to say something and they say something like that, or they'll do something funny, or like this, bro, like, or they start doing like facial fucking shits. I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you doing, bro? I'm talking to you. Like, are you fucking kidding me, man? Like, do you want to go? Like, you want to go right now, bro?
Oh, dude, bro, who's bro? Where's bro? Am I your bro? Like, dude, trust me. There's like
who are we looking at? What are we talking to?
Yep. That's exactly. I go. Are you talking to me?
Yeah. What's going on?
There's no one else here. I'm like, what are we doing?
I know you didn't say. Just starts dancing. Oh, bro.
Dude. Yeah. No.
My son does the same. There's nothing that makes me more.
Not when it's real.
Oh yeah. Just
not when
it's around.
real.
Yeah.
Trust me. That's
they know real, man. Yes.
Yeah. They know. Yeah.
True.
Not when
that's
it's
true.
real.
I got to give it to him. My son's the same way.
Yeah. Tristan though, he gets you, man. Where you're like, you gotta kind of like go like this, you gotta like look away, kind of like cover your face. Tristan, I'm gonna whoop you, dude. Keep talking that trash, because you're like trying not to laugh,
Yeah.
You're about to get smacked, boy. I tell you, he's like, dude. You're like, oh, dude, oh, boy.
You're gonna learn today, boy. You're gonna learn today.
When they see this, that's my thing. It's the flick. Like Audrey and Tristan. I'm like, you don't even know.
You have no idea.
Compared to what you don't know. They just be lucky. It's the flick.
You're about to find out.
You're about to learn today.
Yeah.
ABC. ABC. H.
Smack.
But anyway, see, we were just trying to say goodbye and it went on for.
And look at that. This is legit. This is legit a Hispanic goodbye. Like we're in the car right now. We're in the car. We're leaning against the car.
Yeah. It's the
kids are inside the car.
The kids are in the car. We got the kids in the car.
Yeah. Wife is
about to
sitting
leave.
Down. Yeah.
You're leaning. The other is leaning on the window.
Yeah.
Dude. Oh, that's a nice car.
Now you might turn. Now you might turn on the car and go right back outside and stay talking for another 10, 15 minutes.
Kids are sitting there on their tablets.
Yeah.
One's sleeping like this.
Yeah.
And you go, I forgot. I need the
one that has a shower is sleeping. So now you gotta wake his ass up. Maybe
that's
when you
the
get
one.
home. Yeah. It's always a pain.
That's the one right there. All right. But anyway, everyone who's tuning in, we appreciate you all watching. Thank you for watching East Tension Boys straight out of Hialeah. We'll be back on Wednesday night for our normal programming. Like and subscribe. Well, maybe not this Sunday night, maybe next Sunday. I don't know. We'll figure Wednesday night.
We'll see.
But anyway, we'll figure it out. Anyway, like and subscribe, and good night, Miami. Peace.
Yo, gringos in the house, straight out of Hialeah, no doubt.